Archangel Michael says, there has been a silent breach into your spiritual and personal space, something you were never supposed to miss. Today, exactly at 12:17 p.m., someone used your mother's birth date as the access key to open something connected deeply to your past and future. This is not just about data, it's a spiritual infiltration, a red alert from heaven. You were chosen to receive this message now because heaven has been watching the pattern unfold quietly. This person who accessed your detail holds an old grudge, masked behind a familiar smile. They thought using your mother's birth date would go unnoticed, but the archangels intercepted it. This act is not random, it connects to something that was once protected under your family lineage, a family blessing, a secret will, or a spiritual inheritance may have been illegally peeked into or tampered with. This is why your emotions have been disturbed without explanation today. Your body has been sensing something, hasn't it? A strange tension, a pulsing headache, or a sudden sadness. That's the spiritual system trying to alarm you. The clock struck 12:17 p.m. and with that, a code was broken. Type Amen to get blessing 333. You might notice someone trying to get closer to you in the past 48 hours, acting unusually kind or interested. That person is not acting on their own, they are connected to someone who has been watching your actions secretly. Your mother's birth date is something sacred and private, and its misuse is a direct insult to your spiritual shield. The person behind this is not just curious, they are trying to alter something in your documents, your alignment, or your destiny, but Archangel Michael is standing in the way now, lifting his sword to draw the line. You are not alone in this attack. There's a strange connection between this activity and a conversation you had with your mother or about here within the past few days. Something was said, something felt off. That moment was the key, and the enemy took action based on it. Type Amen to get blessing 119. The enemy is not a stranger, this is someone who knows personal details, dates, names, routines. This is why this is so dangerous. Archangel Michael says you must spiritually and mentally fortify yourself for the next 72 hours. Every little moment matters now. Between today and the next 3 nights, you will see strange signs of repeating numbers, a familiar smell, a locked door unlocking by itself, or a person saying something oddly specific. That's the divine letting you know that the system is being corrected. The breach at 12:17 p.m. activated an old energy gate. Your aura flickered, your path slightly shifted, and your mind may feel foggy, but do not be afraid. Archangel Michael already sent his warriors to trace the source of the intrusion. Type Amen to get blessing 417. You may be prompted to delete or update a password, a memory, or even a name that doesn't sit right anymore. Listen to this intuitive push. That is your higher consciousness aligning with divine protection. There's a woman involved, possibly older, soft-spoken, respected but holding bitterness toward your bloodline. She either shared or encouraged the use of your mother's sacred hate. Be cautious of her presence in coming days. You might also remember a childhood photograph, or a memory with your mother where someone else was always watching silently in the background. That person's energy has reactivated, that they are spiritually jealous of what your family carries. Type Amen to get blessing 924. Someone thought they could steal your direction by mimicking your energy, but your destiny isn't protected by logic, it's guarded by angels. The person who tried logging in thought they were clever, but they've just lit a divine spotlight on themselves. An unexpected document or email will appear soon, either digital or physical. It will have a strange name, date, or signature. That is a signal. Do not ignore it. Also, you may notice an older man suddenly trying to guide or correct you. He knows something. He may not speak everything, but his eyes will reveal guilt or urgency. Be wise in listening, but trust only your soul and the signs from heaven. Type Amen to get blessing 688. Tonight, as you sleep, Archangel Michael will seal the energy wound caused by the 12:17 p.m. intrusion. Place your hand over your heart before bed and call protection by name. Speak this, Archangel Michael, close spot was opened without permission. Someone who was silent for months will try reaching you this week. Their message will feel off, too warm, or oddly timed. That's not coincidence here, it's part of the manipulation attempt connected to the login. There will be spiritual backlash on the one who broke the code. You'll hear of misfortune around them, but do not rejoice here, simply step back and stay in divine alignment. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Continue watching your numbers, your clock, your receipts, your files. You may keep seeing 12:17 or reversed forms of it. These are not accidents, they're markers left by angels to show you that the situation is still being tracked. Archangel Michael says, there will be a knock or call before Friday. It might seem harmless, but it's part of this story. Listen carefully to what is said, what is not said, and who sent them. You are about to walk into a powerful period of recovery and elevation. This event today tried to delay it but failed. God has marked your path with light and no thief can walk it anymore. Type Amen to get blessing 221. The spiritual breach wasn't just a digital act, it carried psychic weight, creating confusion in your spirit. This is why you may have felt dizziness, sudden forgetfulness, or emotional imbalance after 12:17 p.m. These are symptoms of energetic interference here, your aura reacting to foreign touch. Archangel Michael says this kind of entry is rare, and it's not always done with technology. Some use your mother's birth date and rituals or access points to reach your ancestral energy. That's why today was so critical. They didn't just log into a system, they attempted to log into your destiny. They wanted to reroute the blessing that was about to arrive in your Namia possibly by the end of this week. Type Amen to get blessing 808. Someone noticed that you were being watched over too powerfully, your spiritual shield was too intact, so they turned to the past, using someone sacred to you as the back door. That's why they used your mother's birth date. There is an object in your house, small, inherited, or a gift that is now spiritually activated. Pay attention to what keeps drawing your eyes: a frame, a ring, a corner, or a mirror. That item holds energy tied to the event that happened at 12:17. This enemy knows you're about to break through something major, or a legal victory, a financial opportunity, a romantic confession, or even spiritual elevation, and they knew they were running out of time. They moved fast, but they didn't know you'd open this message today. Now, they failed. The moment you read this, the reversal begins. Type Amen to get blessing 641. Archangel Michael says someone is working on documents right now, a paper or digital, where your name is mentioned. They are trying to twist your truth or move your name into something you never agreed to, but heaven has placed a delay in their plan. The one who accessed your details is being spiritually tracked. You'll notice they become paranoid, or distant, or act like they have something to confess but don't know how to begin. Watch them, their guilt will betray them. Archangel Michael stood at your door when they accessed your data. He saw the energy shift and immediately raised the red flag in your soul. That's why you might have paused, dropped something, or felt chills around 12:17 p.m. Heaven responded immediately. You are now under an emergency shield for 7 days, but you must be alert too. Type Amen to get blessing 739. You may receive a text, message, or missed call that looks harmless, but it's connected to this breach. Look at the timestamp up. It may be near 12:17 or contain those numbers. Archangel Michael says this attack was about more than curiosity. It was to redirect something powerful away from you, a payment, a decision, a visitation, or even a prophetic event. You were supposed to meet someone in the next few days, a person carrying breakthrough energy, but this interference was meant to delay that meeting. Now that you know, the angels are realigning your timeline. Stay grounded in truth. Do not panic. Do not retaliate. Let the divine process move forward. Type Amen to get blessing 444. There will be one more attempt in the next 48 hours to either reach you, confuse you, or slow you down. This will come in the form of a conversation, a suggestion, or a random idea that feels slightly off. You will feel the energy tug at your chest. That's your warning system. That means, pause. Do not respond quickly. Wait on divine clarity. Your mother's energy has also been alerted. If she is alive, she may feel restless, emotional, or burdened because the date used was sacred to her life code. If she has passed on, she is interceding from the realm beyond. You may dream of her, or of someone who carries her resemblance. That's not fantasy, that's her soul working in defense of your destiny. Type Amen to get blessing 233. There's a shift about to happen in your finances. After this breach, the heavens decided to double the protection over your wealth. But first, you'll need to sever ties to anyone who tries to manipulate or guilt you into giving. Archangel Michael says, silence is now your power. Say less, observe more. Let the spiritual truth rise by itself, and it will. Within 3 days, there's a man whose name keeps resurfacing in your memory lately. This man may have had access to family secrets or even family pain. His connection to your mother's story is deeper than you know. The angels will show you his face in a dream or via a coincidence. When that happens, document it. That's your spiritual folder opening. Type Amen to get blessing 906. A golden opportunity is being redirected toward you now. You may have lost something recently, a money, an offer, a moment, but that was just a bait. The real blessing was hidden behind it. Archangel Michael says, they tried to access what was yours, but now, heaven is going to release more than what was taken. Do not worry about revenge or exposure. Instead, step into obedience. Let your behavior remain clean while heaven handles what the enemy did behind the scenes. You will hear of their loss. You will see the moment they get caught. But your peace will be your victory. Type Amen to get blessing 511. Expect signs through numbers, music, and repeated words, especially numbers like 1217, 17, 21, 444, and 808. These are not random, they are the divine letting you know that surveillance has now turned to protection. Your voice carries power. Say this out loud tonight before sleep. Whatever opened today without my permission is now permanently sealed in light. Archangel Michael, restore what was tampered with. Return it to me multiplied. You'll feel a heat in your chest or hands. That's the response from the angelic realm. They are standing by you now. Someone may ask you to sign something this week. Read it twice, then once more. You are not to sign anything rushed. Archangel Michael says the enemy loves using urgency as a trap. Type Amen to get blessing 777. There is more to be revealed soon. A letter, a recording, or a message written long ago will resurface. It will explain why they chose your mother's birth date of all things. It ties to a bigger plan. One woman, possibly related by blood or marriage, knows more than she's telling. She was either involved or was once warned but stayed quiet. She may cry or deflect when asked, but watch her body language. Archangel Michael says, stay still, stay silent, stay in light. Justice is being handled spiritually. You'll be called soon, and not just by someone physical, but also by heaven. An internal voice, a divine nudge, or an angelic dream will give you the next step. Watch how heaven begins to return all that was taken in silent ways, first in signs, then in shifts, then in the full reward that even your enemies will have to witness. Archangel Michael says, there's a piece of land, property, or inheritance tied to your mother's side that will now begin moving toward your name. This breach attempted to delay it, But this act of trespass backfired so badly that it unlocked doors even you didn't know existed. The one who accessed your records tried to erase that truth, but instead, they made the angels document everything. Their fingerprints are on every action. You won't have to lift a hand that your silence is now a louder testimony than their lies. You may feel alone in this, but you're not. There are two spirits around you, protectors from your lineage who've stood behind you for months, waiting for the moment to act, and today, they did. Type Amen to get blessing 1007. If you've been seeing birds fly closely, lights flicker, or clocks act strangely, these are signs your atmosphere is changing. The spiritual breach at 12:17 p.m. opened a portal, yes, but the angels have now sealed it with divine fire. The person who did this will pretend everything is fine, but watch their energy. They will fumble, forget things, or start questioning your schedule. That's their nervous guilt leaking through. Don't respond emotionally. Stay ahead. The next 17 days are crucial. Keep low, keep silent, but keep praying. Keep noting every small shift around you. These are not coincidences, they are coordinates from heaven. Your mother's birthday, once used for evil, is now being used by heaven to mark a blessing with your name on it. What they meant for harm has triggered the release of your overdue reward. Type Amen to get blessing 558. You are walking into a new phase and upgraded identity. People who once doubted you will begin asking how you knew, how you stayed calm, how you recovered so quickly. You'll just smile because your power didn't come from this world. Archangel Michael says, forgive, but don't forget. The enemy will try again one day, but now your armor is thicker, your hearing sharper, your shield divine. Someone will confess, unexpectedly, possibly stuttering or crying. Listen without judgment, but do not open the door too fast. Some truths are delivered late only to stall your rise again. They will use guilt. They will say I didn't know, or I was told you wouldn't mind, or I was doing it for you. But your spirit knows the lie. Trust your inner knowing. It is now aligned with heaven. Type Amen to get blessing 833. The angels are showing you dreams for a reason. Write them down. Even fragments matter. They are pieces of your puzzle pieces the enemy tried to scatter by using that sacred birth date. That date, your mother's, held an activation for you. That's why they used it, because your light, your spiritual power, your access to grace was tied to her womb and her protection. Someone thought they could walk through your past to alter your future, but the gates are sealed now. Your present has been restored, and your future has been doubled. Soon you will get the letter, an email, or a visit that mentions her name or birthday again. Don't panic. That is the moment where divine justice shows up in physical form. Type Amen to get blessing 616. A location linked to your childhood or your mother may show up in a strange way, a commercial, a name on paper, a message. That's a confirmation that you're back on track. Heaven is reorienting your compass to where it belongs. If you've been holding back tears lately without understanding why, it's your spirit grieving the trespass. Let it out, cry, cleanse, and rise. Because Archangel Michael says your pain has been heard. Archangel Michael says, those who tried to turn the light off will now be blinded by how brightly you shine. Keep shining anyway. You are never meant to stay hidden. Somewhere, someone will whisper your name in fear, not because you're vengeful, but because they now know they were messing with someone watched by heaven directly. Type Amen to get blessing 1020. By the end of this month, a reversal will happen so suddenly, people around you will be stunned. An opportunity they thought was gone, a door that was closed. Yes, where they thought it was impossible. And you'll know it started when they tried to access your details, so when they tried to walk in shoes that were never meant for them. You are no longer who you were this morning. Today at 12:17 p.m., something was broken open, but it wasn't your destruction, it was your rebirth. Archangel Michael says, This red alert is now green light from heaven. Proceed forward. What they tried to take has now become twice the reward you are about to receive. Type Amen to get blessing 707. You're still feeling the spiritual residue of that exact moment, even hours later. That's not your imagination, it's the lingering effect of someone stepping across a divine line they were never supposed to touch. The energy of 12:17 p.m. has marked your timeline, and it's being recorded in heaven's ledger. Archangel Michael says, this intrusion has activated a chain of divine consequences, not just for the ones who attempted it but for those who supported them, hid them, or stood silently. This is no longer your burden to carry. Now it's in divine hands. Every delay you experienced over the past 7 days was because this person was preparing this move. They waited, watched, and pricked your mother's sacred number like a thief picks a lock. But now, they've alerted every guardian spirit around you. That access point they used is now a trap they fell into. They thought they were stepping into your records, but they walked straight into the circle of fire set by Archangel Michael. Type Amen to get blessing 368. You're going to notice your energy change after reading this. First, a sudden chill. Then, a surge of clarity. Then, a knowing. That's your divine spirit awakening to what really happened. The person behind this has a connection to either your work, your family, or your romantic life, and even though they wear a soft face, their intentions have turned poisonous. They used your mother's energy to weaken your roots, but now their own roots are rotting. Someone will accidentally tell on them. A slip of the tongue, a misdirected message, or a reaction too fast when a name is mentioned. That's when you'll know exactly who was involved. Do not confront. Do not post. Do not expose. Archangel Michael is taking care of that. Type Amen to get blessing 144. Pay close attention to the direction of the wind, the shifting weather, and the patterns of animals around your home. Nature responds when a spiritual war is unfolding. This isn't folklore, it's your confirmation. The person who used your mother's birthday believed they were invoking a key to power, but instead, they invoked protection so intense that their spiritual mirror cracked. They may lose sleep. They may fall ill. That's not a curse, it's the consequence of touching what was protected by divine law. Archangel Michael says you'll notice a name coming up more than once this week through people, messages, or dreams. This is the first name of the one who was at the center of the breach. Do not dismiss it. Mark it. Watch it. Protect your peace when it appears. Type Amen to get blessing 929. If you've felt like you couldn't breathe properly today, or your thoughts kept spiraling without cause, it's because your spiritual frequency was reacting to the tampering. This will ease as the angels complete the restoration process tonight. There was a document or identity form they tried to rewrite or alter. They believed if they could change it subtly, you'd never know. But now, it's been reverted back and a heavenly seal has been placed upon it. You might suddenly remember something from your childhood, a location, a scar, a story your mother once told. That memory is sacred. It holds the original code of your protection, and it was awakened by the event today. You are being reminded of who you really are so that no one else can ever decide that for you again. Type Amen to get blessing 511. An old enemy of your family was watching you from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But what they didn't know is that your spirit had graduated to a higher realm of protection. You are not who you used to be, and that's why their old weapons failed. You outgrew their traps without even realizing it. Someone is watching you closely now, and not to harm, but to understand how you keep rising. They are confused how every attempt fails. That confusion is their punishment. Let them remain in it. Archangel Michael says, they wanted access to your life, but now they've been denied access to their own peace. Type Amen to get blessing 303. The energy around your home is changing. You might feel lighter, calmer, sharper. That's because the angels are cleansing your atmosphere after what happened at 12:17. Do not allow just anyone into your home this week, even those who seem familiar. Some carry energy that's too heavy to allow near you right now. Burn a candle, clean a mirror, rearrange your room. These small physical actions will activate the final part of the healing from this intrusion. Also, check old texts, emails, and saved messages. One of them holds a clue that matches today's event. Type Amen to get blessing 222. You will receive clarity very soon, either in a conversation that reveals more than it should, or in a document that arrives at an unusual time. This will help you see exactly how close the betrayal was, but instead of rage, you will feel power. Power in knowing, power in your silence, power in the way God protected you without needing your permission. Your mother's name will begin to echo in surprising ways this week. A song, a street name, a shared memory. That's not random, that's her divine energy standing back up for you. Someone will try to apologize, but don't be fooled. Some people say sorry when they fear the consequences, not when they understand the damage. Type Amen to get blessing 818. Heaven has decided that this breach will no longer be seen as a loss but as an initiation. You have now stepped into a higher spiritual rank. Your aura has evolved, your perception has sharpened, and your steps are now guarded with fresh oil. Archangel Michael says, no one will ever again be able to access your life using old keys. The locks have changed. The passwords are sealed. The access points are gone. From now on, your elevation will be watched but unreachable to those with harmful intent. They will see the light but never touch it. This was your spiritual test, and you passed. Not with anger, not with revenge, but with surrender, strength, and truth. Archangel Michael says, the same person who tried to access your identity did not expect this divine interference. They believed the moment passed unnoticed. But in the heavens, it was the loudest alarm of the day. Your spiritual file was marked with urgency. A new layer of protection code was placed upon your name, your memories, and your future movements. That's why some things that were delayed are now going to happen faster than expected. This is your season of reversal, child. What they tried to block has now accelerated, and a part of your story that they thought they could erase will now become the very reason your name is elevated. Your mother's spirit, whether living or past, stood up at 12:17 p.m. Her soul knew the access attempt before you even did. That's why you may have felt heat in your spine or pressure in your forehead. Type Amen to get blessing 345. A sacred boundary was broken, and now the divine is resetting your borders. People who once had quiet access to your energy will now find themselves locked out without explanation. Expect them to call. Expect them to act confused. Expect their energy to be panicked. That's not guilt, it's fear that their season in your story is officially over. The misuse of your mother's birthday triggered a divine sweep. Everything around you is being audited now, and not by men, but by angels. Every light hold, every form altered, every whisper spoken against you recorded and reversed. Archangel Michael says, this wasn't just identity theft. This was destiny tampering, and for that, heaven has stepped in personally. Type Amen to get blessing 1104. You might be pulled into a conversation soon where someone tries to casually bring up family, the past, or ask for a small favor. This is a disguised energy. Be testing if you're still vulnerable. Smile, but say nothing too deep. The new you is no longer easily read. Let your silence do the talking. Let heaven do the protecting. Archangel Michael is not just guarding your details, he is repositioning your destiny so no counterfeit version can ever take root again. If you find yourself suddenly emotional at random times, don't resist it. It's your spirit detoxing from psychic intrusion. Type Amen to get blessing 747. A dream will come soon, either of your mother, of someone impersonating her, or a door you can't open. That dream is spiritual code. It's the realm of heaven showing you what was locked, what they tried to unlock, and what is now protected again. Start paying attention to receipts, timestamps, and numbers that repeat. When you see 1217 again, pause, breathe, and say, I reclaim everything connected to me, sealed in divine fire. Someone close to you is about to be revealed as a middle link in this breach. They didn't do it themselves, but they shared just enough information to empower the one who did. Their guilt will grow louder by the day. Let it. Type Amen to get blessing 913. You're entering a season now where you'll begin to remember things differently. Old memories will rise, but instead of pain, you'll feel clarity. That's the sign you've outgrown the manipulation tied to those experiences. Your intuition is being upgraded, your perception sharpened, your voice elevated. This event, though meant to harm, has turned into your spiritual promotion. The weapon formed, yes, but it didn't prosper. And instead of breaking you, it exposed the darkness too afraid to face you directly. This person knew they couldn't ask you for access, so they used your mother's key. That alone shows their weakness. Type Amen to get blessing 1217. Every step they took today is now a breadcrumb trail for heaven to follow. You'll see signs of breakdowns in their life, via technology failing, connections falling, plans backfiring. That's the echo of divine interference. They crossed a line with no return, and now their actions are bouncing back threefold. You, however, are being rebuilt, stronger, wiser, untouchable. What they tried to take has now become the foundation of your elevation. Watch as opportunities chase you down without effort. Watch how rooms open for you that were once locked tight. You are now aligned with the higher rhythm. Type Amen to get blessing 466. The next time you hear your mother's name spoken by someone unexpected, pause. That's your cue. Listen closely to the words that fall out. It will either carry hidden truth or exposed guilt. You may be guided to revisit an old journal, old photos, or an object passed down from your mother's side. That's your spiritual link to identity. Hold it. Speak over it. Reclaim your peace through it. You'll feel your crown heat up as this is the angels finishing their restoration work on your spiritual identity grid. Your name is being rewritten in a higher record. A new book opens for you now, and the old attempts to defile it have failed. Type Amen to get blessing 589. There is a power in you that is now being reactivated. You've always had it, but this event lit the flame again. The gift is spiritual, creative, or prophetic will resurface. Do not ignore it. Archangel Michael says, heaven never forgets who tried to manipulate time, and this person tried to move the clock of your future backward. Now, the time they tried to steal is being restored with interest. You'll find yourself saying things before they happen, seeing things in dreams that play out in waking life. You are being shown what others cannot see. This is your reward for enduring today's breach without breaking. Type Amen to get blessing 779. The shift you're about to feel over the next 3 days will not just be emotional, it will be energetic and structural. You may notice that certain people suddenly fall silent, cancel plans, or remove themselves from your path. Don't be alarmed. This is divine rearrangement happening in real time. Archangel Michael says, your environment is being cleared of silent watchers, people who sat near you while holding secrets, people who smiled while listening for information to pass on. They have been spiritually blocked. The access granted by your mother's birth date is now revoked, reversed, and burned in divine fire. They tried to touch legacy and instead awakened divine punishment. That's why you might have felt nauseous today, or had strange dreams the night before. Your soul saw what your eyes didn't, and it raised the alarm before your mind even understood what happened. Type Amen to get blessing 1033. You will be drawn toward water in the next 72 hours. A bath, a rain moment, a glass in your hand that feels symbolic. That's your soul asking to purify what was interfered with. Listen, answer it. Water carries memory and resets vibration. The name or birthday they used is not just a number, it is a spiritual signature, and they try